Hi, I'm Tom Irvin.
And I'm Jared Grigg.
And today we're going to be bringing you the Memorial Day Parade from Lawrence Township, New Jersey. Jared, why is Lawrence celebrating Memorial Day?
Well, they would like to honor the fallen veterans.
That's right. Not just New Jersey, but the whole country is getting together to honor those who have given their lives in the service of their country. Immediately following this parade today, there's going to be a remembrance ceremony in Veterans Park back behind the high school. But right now, we're getting ready to start the parade. So let's go to the parade. Well, we're ready to start the parade here. It's being led by the Lawrence Township Police Department. They've got a nice cruiser out front there and motorcycle policemen, followed by the color guard, Lawrence Township Police Department color guard.
And here comes Grand Marshal Paul Tweedley, who is a retired captain from the Trenton Fire Department, and is the devoted owner of Captain Paul's down the road here on Princeton Pike. And he supports many different organizations, such as Toys for Tots. And it is great to see that Lawrence Township chose him as the Grand Marshal for this year's parade.
Yes, and right behind him we had several of the local politicians from Lawrence Township very involved in this parade. Got one of the many veterans going by here. I believe that's Fred DeCillo, who's 97 years old. He was in Europe doing defense duty following World War II. And more of the veterans coming by. Now we have the American Legion Post 414. Post 414 is one of the hosts of the remembrance ceremony back behind the high school today in Veterans Park. Very involved in lots of community events. I remember when I was playing in the Hamlet Soccer League, I played for Post 414 soccer team. And there we've got past Department Vice Commander Sam Alphin from the 414, and many more members of the 414. What have we got coming there on the trailer, Jared?
The old car.
Yes, that was built in 1963. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a parade car, but it's become more of a historic piece than something they would use to drive in parades anymore.
Definitely.
And more of the VFW members coming by now. And we've got Hearst Olds, one of the first classic cars to come through the parade. Got one of the 414 members in it. And more members of 414. They've got a trailer behind them with ladies auxiliary from the 414. Bunch of American women. And even more military members and former military members coming by on their vehicles.
And followed by them, we see the emergency medical service cars, as well as the new ambulance for Lawrence Township.
Good to see how well Lawrence stays on top of keeping their equipment in pristine condition. That's not something you want to see pulling up in front of your house unless you need it. Always great to see them in the parades, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Next up, we have the U.S. Naval Sea Cadet Corps. John T. Dempster Jr. Division. Saw them drilling in the parking lot before the parade, making sure they were in good condition for it. Got a good cadence going there. Next up, we have the Civil Air Patrol Twin Pine Composite Squadron out of Trenton Mercer Airport. They are number NJ092. Hey, good to see younger members of the society getting involved. We were looking around earlier. I believe we're going to have the Lawrence High School marching band coming through playing music for us in a little while. Right now we're going through the military groups. And one of the support vehicles following along, the Civil Air Patrol. Next up, we've got several of the Army Jeeps coming through. We've seen in past years where they had a little trouble with a couple of the Jeeps. This year, all 4 of them running. It's good to see all the pride these veterans put into their machines. I know you're used to seeing these on things like the MASH TV show. These are the real McCoy.
And next we see this silver truck coming up, and would you like to say some things about that?
That's a 1950 Ford pickup that's owned by Wayne Hallfish. In fact, he told me he did the restoration on that himself. A beautiful looking piece. There's Bob's Auto Service on the side of it. Next up, we've got a couple of tractors coming through. The older of the two, that's the lead tractor, is a 1957. That's the year it was made, not the model. That's being followed by a 1961 Farmall. Decked out with patriotic flags.
As they're coming through, next we see the Township of Lawrence Office on Aging. Some of our seniors coming through.
Yes, Lawrence has a very active senior community. It's wonderful to see them out taking part in the parade. They're saying there's an open house on Tuesday at the Senior Center. Welcome to the parade. There's all the seniors marching by. And next up, I see the Capital Area YMCA. Lots of good work for the young men and women. Yes. And following the YMCA, who do we have there, Jared?
We have the Lawrence, Ewing, and Trenton Girl Scouts.
They build girls of confidence, courage, and character. Good to see the Girl Scouts in the parade. I don't think that's a Girl Scout. That's a Boy Scout. Weeblos, I believe.
Yeah. Followed by them, we have some of our teams. And first, we have the Lawrence lacrosse team coming through.
Yes, these are your recreation department league teams in Lawrence Township. And good to see them out marching.
And followed by them, we have Troop 28, another Boy Scout group.
Yes, we got a couple Boy Scout groups marching today. Good to see.
And now we see the Cub Scout group, Pack 28.
Yes, these are folks that are going to become Boy Scouts eventually. Another good character building program. You can see the different levels of achievement they can reach there, like the wolf, the tiger, the lion, the bear. Good to see all the involvement here. Next up, Karate Fit USA. I believe they're down in the Lawrence Shopping Center, aren't they? Yeah, it's good to see them involved in the parade as well, carrying their American flags.
Definitely.
Township TV.
And lots of people all decked out for the holidays. Next up, the Lawrence Historical Society, keeping the memories of the township alive. And they're reminding us to remember those who gave their lives in the service of our country. Now, which school are you guys with? Which school is this? Eldridge Park School. Welcome, Eldridge Park School. Oh, there comes the banner. EPS. One of the older schools in the district.
That was actually my elementary school.
Oh, I didn't know that. And looks like one of them must be just married, dragging the tin cans behind the wagon. The parade may be a little much for that one.
We have some more recreation teams coming through.
Yes, I see one of the shirts says softball on it, Lawrence softball. What team are you? Well, they're busy handing out pins. But we've got lots of the Recreation League teams up here. A lot of excitement there among the different teams.
Yep.
And who do we have there now, Jared?
The Knights of Columbus car, number 7,000, the Lawrence Council.
Knights of Columbus is an organization that does a lot of work behind the scenes. You don't necessarily know that they're doing this, but they do a lot of great programs for the community. More Knights of Columbus coming through. Community parades are fun because the people in the parade know a lot of the people on the side who are cheering and conversing with each other.
And now it seems that we have the Lawrence Recreation Football team.
Complete with trophies. They must have had a good season. They've also got the Cardinal cheer team behind them. They'll come parading through in a moment. Doing a bit of a dance number before they process through.
Now they're starting to come through again. And just like Mr. Irvin said, we have the cheer squad coming up next.
A lot of energy in that squad, wouldn't you say, Jared?
Definitely.
Starting up next, we hear the Lawrence High School Marching Unit. Striking up some military music. That's something new for them. The Lawrence Cardinal Marching Band is led by Mr. Mike Drobish, but he does all his work in preparing the musicians. They do their own thing when they get out there.
Mr. Drobish trying to have them move on a little faster. So as the marching band comes through, next we have the Eggers Crossing Civic League, as well as some of our students from Ben Franklin Elementary School.
Yes, Ben Franklin right up the road from us. Good to see both of these groups in the parade. Ben Franklin cheerleaders giving us a little bit of a serenade as well.
And one of our other elementary schools in Lawrence Township coming up next in Slackwood.
Yes, down at the opposite end of Princeton Pike. In fact, that's my alma mater. There's the principal from Slackwood School. And lots of student involvement. Great to see the kids out on the streets here today.
And now we see the St. Anne's School.
That's right. We don't just have public schools here in Lawrence. We've got some private schools as well, St. Anne's being one of them.
Thank you.
St. Anne's over on Route 206, not far from here.
Getting some lollipops from him. Thank you.
Hey guys, happy Memorial Day!
Followed by them, we have some horses that I know Mr. Urban has some information about.
Yes, there's a 23-year-old Palomino named Callie that's ridden by Jackie Patterson, and a 21-year-old Pinto named Jeffrey, who's ridden by a rider named Callie. And they're all decked out in patriotic gear. That's quite a sight, isn't it?
Definitely. Followed by them, we see some of our fire departments, and up first is Slackwood.
Yes, Slackwood Fire Company right down there a block away from the Slackwood High School, Slackwood Elementary School.
As we see car 21 coming through, and now we have the big fire trucks coming in.
Yes, also from Slackwood Fire Company.
The first one is Rescue 21, as Mr. Urban said, from Slackwood.
Yes, I believe Slackwood was the first company in the township to get a bucket truck, if memory serves correctly. It doesn't always, but I believe that was the case.
The next Slackwood truck, I believe, is their tower truck, also Tower 21.
Yes, a truck like that is necessary for taller buildings to take care of fires in taller locations.
And followed by them is the flood rescue truck out of Lawrence Township. I believe they are based out of Lawrenceville.
And I'm glad to say we don't need them very often in Lawrence, but it's good to know we have them when they're needed, as is the case with all the emergency response teams.
Yeah, you would not like to see them showing up to your door.
Well, you don't like needing them, but you're glad that they show up when you do need them.
Yeah. As we have another fire truck coming through. It's the utility truck. I can't really see. Oh, that is Lawrence Township's up in Lawrenceville.
This is the Lawrenceville Fire Company, I believe.
That is Lawrenceville's rescue truck coming up next.
Yeah, by this point in the parade, we get some stop and go action, so we'll get a nice view of these fire vehicles, get some close-ups even. Apparently these guys spend a lot of time making sure they look beautiful for the parades. They sure do, don't they?
They definitely look shiny. See a couple of firefighters following behind the fire truck. And then we see our first Lawrence Road truck over on Route 206.
Announcer Jared's very popular with the parade participants. And over the years, we've actually had some high school students who were volunteer members of this squad that would hear the siren and have to be excused from class to go ride on the trucks.
Yeah. Another Lawrence Road truck. It's actually the fire police.
Another ladder truck coming through.
Also from Lawrence Road. And now we see Lawrence Road's engine truck coming through, engine 22. I believe that's the last of our fire trucks for this parade.
I was at a parade in another town one time where a fire started right at the end of the parade route. So one of the fire engines that was in the parade was able to go right over and put it out.
That's good. I believe this is a Lawrence Township, just regular truck coming through now.
Yeah, this would be the department that actually set up all the barricades and traffic cones for the parade, as well as setting up in the park.
And now I believe all these trucks, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these are from Public Works.
Yes, Lawrence Town. I've never seen this one on the road before, but it's
Me
quite an
neither.
impressive piece of machinery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some
more
of the
public-
behind-the-scenes people. Things happen in Lawrence.
Some more Public Works trucks coming through.
Yes, and while the weather's not calling for it, we've got one at the end there that's ready for the snow.
Didn't really need them this past winter. Didn't have a lot of snow.
It's been a very pleasant winter, hasn't it?
Definitely.
And it's a pleasant spring day today. Great day for a parade.
Sunny skies.
Yep, here comes the snow plow.
And then one of our last cars is from the police department. It's actually one of their new cars, as they are starting to roll out some newer cars that are black and white.
Yes, over the years the paint schemes have changed, but the mission has stayed the same, to protect and serve. And that police vehicle is going to be the final vehicle in our parade today, Jared.
Great to see all these different vehicles coming through.
Yes, and we're at the beginning of the parade route. These folks are all headed over towards Veterans Park, where they will have a remembrance ceremony for the fallen warriors who gave their lives in service of our country. The Lawrence Township Recreation Advisory Committee is going to be there giving out free hot dogs and waters while supplies last to all the veterans who participated in the event. My wife Robin informs me that as a veteran, she is taking advantage of that down at Captain Paul's hot dog stand as well, where he's giving out free hot dogs every year for the veterans. So that'll about do it for the parade today. We're going to send things over to the remembrance ceremony in Veterans Park. Anything you want to add there, Jared?
No, but this seems like it was a great parade, having all these different trucks and vehicles coming through. And this was my first Memorial Day parade announcing, so I had a good time.
Glad to hear it, Jared. Thanks for announcing today. And
you're welcome.
We'll be heading over to the remembrance ceremony now.
Township Council members, Captain Paul Tweedley, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'd also like to recognize a couple of very important people here on the podium. Cliff Snedeker. And Fred Tusillo. Fred Tusillo, 97 years old, from the Army's Big One, World War II vet. Good morning. My name is Andrew Tenard. I'm a Navy veteran and a member of the Patriotic Committee and American Legion Post 414. It is my pleasure to be the Master of Ceremonies today. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the National Anthem and Invocation. Today's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by our Girl Scout troops. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies. Now, please continue to stand tall and proud and sing along as the Lawrence Township Community Band plays our national anthem. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Next, our invocation will be presented by Christina Vincent, Paramedic, Chief, Lawrence Township EMS.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, this day we set aside as a day of ultimate honor to pay tribute to those who have lost their lives protecting and serving this nation's military forces. Today we come to you with bowed heads and open hearts in remembrance of those who paid the ultimate price by giving their lives for their country. May we be forever humbled by their selfless sacrifices and valor. We remember these brave men and women for their willingness to, place themselves in harm's way for a greater cause and lay down their lives for the benefit of those they never met. May we continue to express our eternal gratitude for their courage to defend and protect this nation by upholding the values of freedom they so vigilantly fought and died for. May their dedication and courage be remembered throughout generations and never be forgotten. As we reflect on this Memorial Day, let us be mindful of the ultimate sacrifice. We pray for all the men and women throughout history of this great nation that answered the call to service, both at home and abroad. May we continue to reflect upon the high price of those who laid their lives upon the altar of freedom. May we be forever thankful and promise to carry on their legacy to ensure they did not die in vain. Help us to continue to be grateful for every single one. May we strive to be worthy of those sacrifices from which we have benefited. We ask these things in your name, dear Lord. Amen.
Great. Thank you, Chief. Please be seated. It's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce Councilman Chris Bobbitt, former mayor, who will give us a few remarks. Chris?
I'm going to be really brief, but it's really great to see you all here today. I want to thank Mayor Ryan, the rest of the council, as well as Manager Nowinski, Public Works, as well as the Recreation Department, and especially the Patriotic Committee for putting together such an amazing event, a great parade, and something that just really warms my heart about this community is that we all come together, we smile, we say hello. Maybe this is the only time of year we see each other, but it's a great day for a very solemn and important holiday. So enjoy the program, and it's great to see you all. Take care.
No,
2023, Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start of summer. Beach, baseball, barbecue, good times. In July, we will celebrate our country's 247th birthday. Fireworks, more barbecues, pool parties, sales, good stuff, fun stuff. Many people describe this as our way of life. We will hear how we celebrate freedom. It is true, and that's a good thing. It's so good, in fact, it can be easily forgotten what this holiday is actually for. It is becoming too easy to forget the very freedom we will celebrate this weekend and this summer came at a very high price. It was not free. That is why we are here today, because the precious few here in this park know our freedom, our way of life comes at a cost. Captain Paul knows it and helps remind us as we visit or drive by his establishment. As time goes on, it can be hard to relate to past generations who mobilized this nation to fight. We know the history, but we naturally look forward more than we look back. And generally, that's a good thing. There is, however, a conflict going on as we speak where a nation has mobilized and is fighting for their very existence and their freedom. With U.S. material assistance, Ukraine is fighting against a modern-day tyrant and doing more than holding their own against a much larger and more capable force. Last December, President Zelensky addressed the United States Congress, and I believe rightly compared his nation's struggle to similar struggles in our nation's history. At one point in his speech, seeking more assistance, he said this: "Just like the Battle of Saratoga, the fight for Bakhmut will change the trajectory of our war for independence and for freedom." I only bring this up to remind us that the struggle for freedom, which we enjoy, continues in many places of the world. The ultimate sacrifices our fallen comrades have made for the last 2.5 centuries not only inspires us, but inspires people around the globe who desire to live our way of life. Thank you. Now let's continue with the ceremony. As this is a day to honor our fallen countrymen and women who died in service to our nation, it's also a day when veterans can take special pride in the branch of military for which they served. To help us all experience that service pride is the Lawrence Community Band, who perform the Armed Forces Salute. We ask that all present veterans stand proudly when they hear their service anthem played. like that. We saved the best for last. That was good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce our Grand Marshal and guest speaker, Captain Paul Tweedley. The Lawrence Township Patriotic Committee is pleased to welcome Paul Tweedley, a retired captain from Trenton, New Jersey's Fire Department. He's our Grand Marshal for the 2023 Lawrence Township Memorial Day Parade. This prestigious honor recognizes Paul's exceptional dedication to the men and women associated with emergency services, the military and their families, as well as his unwavering commitment to the Lawrence Township community. As a devoted business owner of Captain Paul's Firehouse Dogs and a member of the Lawrence Township community, he has consistently demonstrated his commitment to supporting various organizations and fundraising efforts. His contributions to causes such as Toys for Tots and many community organizations have a profound impact on the lives of numerous individuals. In particular, Paul's support for the military and their families is visible for all to see. Passerby of Captain Paul's establishment witness his heartfelt display of patriotism and appreciation, serving as a constant reminder of the sacrifices made by those in uniform and their loved ones. Please give a warm welcome to Captain Paul Tweedley.
I smell hot dogs. Good morning. Welcome to today's ceremony, and thank you for attending. I'd like to thank Lawrence Township Recreation for the beautiful job you did. Also, the Patriotic Committee. Thank you very much for this. It's a big honor for us, me and my wife. We're so grateful for the veterans' services, your sacrifice. I'm humbled and privileged to speak on this sacred day. Memorial Day for me is profound gratitude for the sacrifice of so many. These men and women who have died for us gave up 2 lives for the country. The life they had been living and the one they would have lived. My dad told me early in life that we owe the soldiers for all our gifts, to say a prayer and thank them for all we have. So every day Janice and I open up Captain Paul's and try to do the right thing, so that if they are looking down on us, they would be proud of their sacrifice. It's an honor for us to have the men and women of the armed forces and first responders walk through the door and hold high the torch that was passed to us and live up to their legacy by our actions. I'd like to thank the local legions and the VFWs for the great work to comfort the families and loved ones for their sacrifice. There's a few people I would like to mention. I know I'm going to leave a couple people out, but I apologize in advance. That are no longer with us. My Uncle Ray Slack, Army, PFC, 101st Airborne, 1968 to 1971 in the Vietnam War. Some of you on this stage and some of you in this audience helped our family secure his veterans benefits for his wife and his 3 children. And for that, we say thank you. Nick Lovelace, a veteran of 2 wars, World War II, Korean, where he served in the 340th Bomb Group and the 307th Bomb Wing. He served 27 years active duty, and then, if that wasn't enough, he went through the ranks and became Chief of Police in Lawrence Township in 1990. Dave Snedeker, a member of the New Jersey National Guard. He retired in 2001, but true to form, he reactivated to serve in Operation Iraqi Freedom, 2008. 36 years total service. Rory Bearden, World War II veteran, who was a fixture at Captain Paul's. I know a lot of you, I see you out here, who bought him lunch. So thank you. Thank you very much. Pat Calavita, huge loss for this community. Served in the Army National Guard from 1968 to 1972. Pat served on so many fronts, there are too many to mention, but know that he is missed by everyone who knew him. And I'm going off script here a little bit. Pat and Mayor Jim used to come in the store and do we call it dog slinging. We stand behind the counter and sling dogs. People would walk in and say, I want mustard and onion. And Pat would say, no, you want sauerkraut. My wife loves sauerkraut. And so by the end, they would get sauerkraut on their hot dogs. So Pat's missed, and Mayor Jim, they did so much to build Captain Paul up, so thank you. Rudy Fusel was a big loss to this community. I still miss his Suburban in the driveway. I still look for it. Rudy was a life member of Slackwood Fire Company since 1957. He was chief from 1967 to 1983. These are a few of our heroes that we lost recently, and on this Memorial Day, we remember them fondly. It has been an honor and a privilege to spend some time with those who selflessly serve a greater purpose than themselves. General Schwarzkopf said, true courage is being afraid and going ahead and doing your job anyways. That's what courage is. May God bless you and may God bless America.
Thank you, Captain Tweedley. And on behalf of the Patriotic Committee, I also want to thank you for your unmatched community support. Each year at this time in our program, our veterans organizations pay special tribute to their fallen comrades. Representing the American Legion Post 414 as well as the VFW, Commander Charles Brothers.
Thank you, Andy. Just a little bit. Yeah. I have to do it all the time. The deceased members from American Legion Post 414, Donald Cimarelli, Archie Davis, Vincent Lombardo, Robert Schuburn, David Snedeker, Thomas Wallington, Walter Wenzel, John Wintermute, Nick Lovelace, and Peter Radis. The VFW members I have are kind of a repeat of some of the names I've already read. Dave Snedeker, James F. Curran, Joseph B. Josowitz, Dennis J. Uhas, Sr., Nicholas R. Lovelace, and Raymond DeCrepio. Thank you all for coming out today. Pay your respects.
Thank you, Charles. And representing the 112th Field Artillery Association, Colonel Robert Watson.
Good morning, and thank you for remembering. Colonel, United States Army retired, Ron Cefalone. Staff Sergeant, United States Army, retired, William Driver Jr. Sergeant, United States Army retired, Bob Cedia. Captain, United States Army retired, Dave Snedeker. Charles Smithgall. Command Sergeant Major, United States Army retired, Al Gerner. Joe Saliga, United States Navy. Command Sergeant Major, United States Army retired, Richard LaRocca. Sergeant First Class, United States Army retired, Thomas Conley. Lieutenant Colonel, United States Army retired, Nelson Ringgold.
Thank you, Colonel. This now brings us to the solemn part of our ceremony. I would ask our Grand Marshal, Paul Tweedley, to join Colonel Watson and Ken Barnaby, U.S. Army Reserve 78th Division, who will lay a wreath at the monument. Honoring our fallen heroes. We are blessed to have such a beautiful park and Veterans Memorial here in Lawrence. As the wreath is being laid, let us now turn our attention to the members of the 112th Field Artillery Association who will fire an artillery salute. This will be followed by members of Lawrence Township EMS Squad who will raise the colors while taps is being played by members of the Lawrence High School Band. Please remain silent and still as we remember our fallen comrades who died defending our freedom. Fire the salute! Thank you very much. As we start to close today's ceremony, please join in singing God Bless America, played by the Lawrence Township Community Band. Thank you. Thank you, Lawrence Community Band. Thank you, Lawrence Police, Lawrence EMS, the Army Reserve, Navy Sea Cadets, Air Force, Civil Air Patrol, all the people who participated in today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all Lawrence Township, the American Legion Post 414, VFW Post 3022, we'd like to thank you for helping us celebrate this Memorial Day of 2023. Our ceremony is concluded. Please join our neighbors and friends with refreshments being served in the back of the park. Happy Memorial Day and thank you.